Alright guys, okay, 3 tips for flow sparring. So how do you maintain a flow spar and how do you make use of a flow spar? How do you learn best from it? So tip number 1 is don't follow through on your strikes. So if Omri and I here are hitting each other and we're going for it, right? Okay, it's just this. Your goal is to hit, not to hurt, alright? So the fastest way to understand this or the fastest way to apply this is I just don't close my fist fully. I don't create structure at the end of my strike. So we can go as fast as we like, right? But it's not gonna hurt him, right? He can even hit me in the body. Bam. It's not gonna hurt me because he's not creating structure. Because when you wanna do damage with punches, your goal is not to hit skin, it's to hit organs. So if I'm hitting him in the face, it's the same deal. My goal isn't to punch the top of his head, it's to follow through and hit the brain that's inside of it, right? If I'm hitting him in the body and I want to drop him, my goal isn't to touch him in the ribs. My goal is to punch through the ribs and hit his liver. So if I don't create that structure that allows my follow through, even if I go pretty hard like this and he goes hard on me, okay? Even if it's a kick, let's say, to the legs, okay? He's hitting me, it looks good, it feels good, it teaches him what he needs to do, but it doesn't hurt me. So that's tip number 1. All right, guys? Tip number 2 is communicate with your partner. Okay, if you've got an injury, I've got a knee injury right now, right? You need to be upfront about it, right? So if I want to make sure he doesn't do anything that hurts my knee, okay, I've got to tell him right away, my knee is injured, please be careful with kicking it, and please don't sweep me, all right? So we can work, right? But if I don't want to get swept, I don't sweep him, right? So part of that is also don't do what you don't want done to you, right? And so that's communicating before the spar. You can also communicate during the spar. So I like this pace right now. I can tell him, right? Don't be shy to tell him. Nice pace. You know, tell him, nice kick. Okay? When he lands something, part of communication is acknowledging it, right? So say, for example, I can land a head kick on him. Bam, and I can just touch him, but he can acknowledge it. That's communicating with me. So now, right, I get that he respects what I threw and that it probably landed, right? Whereas what could happen is I go for a head kick and I throw it really light on purpose because it's dangerous, right? And he slams me with a punch after. Okay? This is terrible communication because now what that tells me is that he doesn't respect anything I'm throwing. So the likelihood I want to throw something harder so he does respect me is higher. So maybe my next head kick hits harder, right? So anyway, you communicate. If you feel like it's getting a little too hot, right? Bam, bam, bam. Okay, it's starting to pressure you a little bit too much. You're worried about your injuries. You're worried about getting hurt. You just tell him right away, lower the pace a little bit. But for him to respect that thing I'm asking of him, I have to lower my pace as well. So sometimes you don't have to speak, right? It gets too hot, right? We're throwing too hard. Okay, I can be the first to calm down. Okay, I lighten my pace first, and especially when you're sparring somebody more experienced, he'll understand that right away and he'll lower his pace as well. Yeah? Okay. And then tip number 3, guys. All right, what's tip number 3 again?
Tip number 3.
Don't try to win.
Don't try to win.
Yeah. Okay?
What was it? No?
Yeah, and then I think we just expanded out of that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So tip number 3 is you're not here to win a spar, right? And what that means is don't let your ego get the best of you, right? So when you're sparring, it's not a fight. You know, we're not getting any money for this. We're not getting medals for this. No one's sanctioned just to go at each other. It's just, a lot of the times, just some random dude. You came into a sparring session, you touch gloves, and you're like, okay, let's roll, dude. So now, if I come in with the mentality that I need to win this spar, if he does something that hurts me a little bit too much, or that offends me, right, like that, my mentality might be, I need to get that back, right? I need to retaliate. Say, for example, he lands a leg kick. I wasn't ready for it. And in my mind, that hurt a little bit too much. He tried to hurt me. So if I'm trying to win, what's going to happen now is I'm going to look to get that back. I'll slam him on the leg. I'll kick his head or I'll land a shot with the intent to hurt him, right? What's going to happen if we both start doing that? It becomes a full-blown fight, okay? So what's the mentality shift for this? The mentality shift is that your spar is to learn. Cliche, right? What are you learning? You're learning small things. Say, for example, I've got a problem with working my lead hand, right? I don't feel like my jab or my teep, right? Or my inside leg kicks, my lower commitment shots are nice enough. When I come into the spar, that's my primary goal. So if I find that Omri is good at pressuring me, right? He comes in, his strings of shots are nice, and my goal is to work my lead, right? I look for breaks first. I get distance, So I can come back out and use my lead side, right? And if he keeps solving that problem, right, I keep adjusting. And so, regardless of what he hits me with, say he blasts me with that leg kick again, bam, nice, that was a little bit too painful. I can go back to tip number 2, communicate really fast, right? Or I can just go back to solving that problem. Because again, my goal isn't to win or hurt him. My goal is to build something I'm trying to work on. So I don't like that leg kick. I'll start working my lead a little bit better. Maybe I'll cut to this other side. I'll start working on my checks. I'll start working on my peeps to discourage that kick. Anyway, that's tip number 3. Hey guys, I think that's about it, right?
That's about it.
You think about anything else?
Then we'll add it later.
All right, that's it, guys. 3 tips. Oh, last one, guys. Okay? Some people will ask for light spars, but they'll spar like this. So it's part of number 3. And then he tries to hit me, and I'm going like this. Okay? Well, what am I trying to do? I'm trying to win. I'm trying to finesse him, right? So even if I say light spar, but I'm putting him on it like this, I'm sweeping him, then I'm walking off like I'm so cool about it, what's going to happen, right? At some point, he'll have enough of that. And if he's better than I am, you can best believe he's going to hurt me. Don't do that.
Ego.
Yeah, exactly. No ego.